I've been told that I'm going to get reported to the Office of Fair Trading by a buyer because he turned around. Actually, no, he didn't say. He goes, oh, I can't report you to the government because you haven't done anything wrong, but I'm going to give you a 0-star review. This is a buyer that made a bid on a property that's worth probably around 900,000 or 850, thereabouts. Made a bid at 600, then was only bidding in $1,000 bids. So I just thought to myself, we're not getting anywhere here. Our instructions from our vendor were put in a vendor bid. I put in a vendor bid of $850,000. We passed it in, and we're going to go sell it as a for sale on Monday. As the buyer's walking out, he says, I'm the highest bidder. I'd like to speak to the owner direct. I said, you're not the highest bidder, sir. I hope he's watching this. I said, you're not the highest bidder. I said, the vendor bid is the highest bid. I said, you weren't the highest bidder. It's been passed in at 850. Anyway, he goes, I'd like to speak to the owner direct. I went over and spoke to the owner. I said, look, this buyer wants to speak to you. So she goes, okay. We all go into the kitchen. I wasn't going to leave the lady there. She was on her own, right? I wasn't going to leave her on her own, direct face-to-face with this buyer, you know. Look, he was a nice enough guy, Egyptian heritage, good negotiators, Egyptian heritage buyers. Anyway, cut a long story short, he starts, and listen to what he says. Oh, we're a good family, blah, 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 you know. And essentially trying to buy the property at a significantly discounted price. And she said, I'm not prepared to sell under 850. And I said, I wouldn't let her sell under 850. I mean, it's worth it. Where can you buy a house for 850,000 in Sydney now, right? And he flips. He goes, you shouldn't be involved in this. It's her house. You shouldn't say that she shouldn't sell it at this price. I'm very upset. I'm going to give you a bad review, right? Mate, seriously. Listen, I'm going to let you know, if you're a buyer that's watching this, the number one way to not get an offer accepted from a vendor is to get the vendor to dislike you, right? And you know what that means? Don't be stupid with the way you go about making an offer, right? So at the end of the day, I said to him, well, you go off and put a bad Google review on me because I told my owner, don't sell at that price, which she wasn't going to sell at anyway, right? She actually is the one that turned around and said, no way. But why am I sharing this story with you? Because sometimes I actually find that when you do connect the buyer and the seller, it can help. Because if they're nice people and they're compassionate and they get a bit of an understanding, the vendor might see them in different context. But to actually go direct to the owner, thinking to yourself, I'm going to be able to try and manipulate them to sell their property for 200 grand less, doesn't stand with me, man.